whiskey inside my veins. I'm feeling heavy and I can't explain how I feel for you.
So first and foremost, I feel like it's necessary to apologize for my lack of being on YouTube and all social media accounts because I have not been active on them at all. I've been feeling really terrible for not sharing the past few months and my life and everything in between lately. I haven't uploaded a true video in the past 2 months, and the reasoning for that has to do with my health, my mental state, and a lot of situations in between. And I feel like I need to catch you up and be honest and vulnerable and share my life. A few months ago, I was in a car accident on February 26th. I talked about it, I shared a little bit about it, and I broke my nose, had to have physical therapy for a few months. I thought that was the worst of it all. The police and legally and the doctor said that I need to have tests upon tests upon tests, blood work, and so many EKGs and MRIs and all of these fun things, and we'd find out what's wrong with me, if there is anything wrong with me. And at first I really didn't think that it was anything at all. I thought that the reason why I crashed my car was because I blacked out, and that being because I hadn't really ate anything the day before. I was a super big mess and I didn't really get too much sleep, and I thought maybe that's why I blacked out. Come to find out, I probably had a seizure. 99% sure I had a seizure, and that never really calculated in my brain. And then I got my license taken away back in April. And that was the biggest and the hardest part about it all, was getting my license taken away and realizing, oh, this summer is really gonna suck. This is my senior summer. I graduated this year and I had so many big plans, so much going on, and then this happens. In the midst of it all, I lost 2 best friends while being very emotional and in a lot of pain, physically and emotionally. The doctors put me on Keppra. So a few weeks after I had my first doctor's appointment with the neurologist, he had me take an EKG as well as some other tests, and the EKG came back showing something in my brain. He said that it was a seizure activity sort of ordeal, and that he's almost certain I had a seizure while driving. Knowing that, and knowing previously I'd passed out the most random time ever, assuming that might have been a seizure as well, I brought up a couple other effects and things that have happened, and he definitely started thinking this could be epilepsy. So he puts me on Keppra, which is like a basic like seizure preventer medication, but it had the worst side effects ever. I was always dizzy. I lost my complete taste, and I constantly felt foggy, and it was just awful. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, I go back to the neurologist and I bring up all the side effects and how I was feeling and my emotional state, and he was concerned because I had brought up multiple things that could potentially mean that I had a bigger problem. He mentioned the fact that I could possibly have MS, and he hated to do it, but I was going to have a spinal tap and a lot of blood drawn. That might have been the scariest thing I've ever received. I thought losing my license and being told that I could have epilepsy was bad, and then the doctor says that you could have MS. Not knowing what that was, and hearing my mom go, "Why are so many people in wheelchairs with it?" And it kind of freaked me out. I left the doctor's office bawling again, and it was the hardest thing I've ever felt, not being sure and not knowing and having a doctor say that he's concerned for you. It kind of makes you question everything. So the next week I had a spinal tap. That was in itself an awful experience, but it happened, and I had blood work. I passed out during the blood work. That was another whole experience. I just wanted to give up. I didn't want to do it anymore. I wanted to know what was wrong, but I didn't want to continue going through it. So my mental state kind of went out the door. Side note, I'm still battling depression, but knowing what's wrong with me has given me hope, and I feel so much better now. Anyways, so a couple weeks later, I go back into the neurologist, and although I left not receiving the best news, I received news and a diagnosis, and that was probably the best thing ever. I left that doctor's office smiling because I could finally be relieved and know what was wrong with me and feel okay again. So I was diagnosed with epilepsy. Now, as much as that is a big deal, I'll be on medication for the rest of my life, but it's not going to affect me. I'm going to be okay. This isn't going to be the end of my world. And I think knowing that, and I think having an answer for this is like the best thing that I could ask for. And to be honest, as terrified as I was to have epilepsy, now that I know that I do, I feel so much better. I've met so many people that have epilepsy, and learning about it from their point of view, especially if they've had it for much longer than I have, knowingly, it gives me so much hope to live a normal life, and I'm so grateful to have people surround me, including you, and help me through this journey in a kind of new light. I have a new appreciation for doctors and nurses for putting up with me crying and being angry and hurting and being emotional. I appreciate what they do, and that they have to deal with that often. And I have a new appreciation for a whole new community of people that have helped me learn about this and cope and deal with it, and know that I'm not alone, and that although this might not be the most common thing, it is common, and a lot of people go through this. So yeah, I am Rylee, and I have epilepsy. So yeah. So I want to thank you guys for being here with me and dealing with me not being on the internet at all for so long. So I can't promise you that I'm going to be on here very often, at least for the time being. Summer is still very busy. Although I don't have to go to doctor's appointments every single day, I'm still very busy, and I work a lot, and I go to the gym a lot, and I would like to spend more time with my friends this summer, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to see them, because everyone's going off to college and doing great things with their lives, and I'm so proud of everybody, including myself, for choosing a path that I think is fit for me. We'll see, but life is getting better, and life just keeps on going, and that's all that you can do, is keep on going. So yeah. Thanks for putting up with me. I appreciate everything you do, and I love you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Hey, I have epilepsy. So fun fact, I don't even know what the definition of epilepsy is. I don't think I've ever looked it up. Oh, I guess I have. Epilepsy.com. I was on that website, I guess. Okay. Epilepsy is a neurologic. Ha! Neurologic. Epilepsy. Neurologic. Epilepsy is a neurologic. I can't say it. Epilepsy is a neurological disorder marked by sudden, recurrent episodes of sensory disturbance, loss of consciousness, or convulsions, associated with abnormal electrical activity in the brain. That's what I have. Convulsions. So that part in what's the one where like the girl's head spins around and she's possessed by a demon? That one. Convulsions. Or lost consciousness, like when I crashed my car. That's epilepsy. Bye.